Our presentation today will be divided into three parts. Firstly, I'll give a brief introduction to Klein and Company. This will be followed by the description of the scope and methodology of our ingredients for household, industrial, and institutional cleaning applications study. Then I'll discuss the key findings of our study. So let me start with a brief introduction to Klein and Company. Klein is a research and consulting firm mainly focusing on consumer, energy, agriculture, and chemical industries. It has two divisions: market research, where we conduct multi-client studies, and the study of today's interest on ingredients for cleaning applications falls under that. The other division is management consulting, where we conduct proprietary projects which are done for a single client. As you can see on the slide, Klein has offices in all the major regions in the world that allows us to provide global support as well as do a more thorough research due to our local presence in those regions. This is very important when it comes to the understanding of local issues for a study like ingredients for cleaning applications. This became more important during COVID-19 times as the policies adopted by governments to control the spread of COVID-19 differed from one country to another, and therefore the market was more impacted by local factors in 2020 compared to normal times. Now let us look at the scope and methodology of our study. Our report focuses on ingredients and is based on bottoms-up approach rather than a top-bottom approach. Top-bottom approach would involve getting the ingredient market numbers from finished product statistics. However, as our study involves bottom-up approach, our research relies heavily on interviews with industry experts in supplier companies, distributors, formulators, and also end-user companies to get a full understanding of the market for an ingredient. Research is done by researchers in native languages that allow them to do in-depth research. Primary research is supported by secondary research, so we constantly track company annual reports, association websites, National Statistics Bureau, and various other sources to not only fill the gaps but also remain updated with the developments in the industry. This slide talks about the program that we have. So this program for the cleaning ingredients, it consists of two deliverables. One, database, and a concise report per region covering each of the ingredient groups. These reports give key trends as well as drivers and inhibitors for that ingredient group within each region. Database gives information on more than 120 ingredients. It gives information on 8 regions covering entire world with much more detailed information on 7 main regions as mentioned on this slide. This slide talks about the structure of the database and also shows you the different applications that we cover. So you have an overall market, then you have two end-use segments, so household segment and then the industrial and institutional segment. And then each segment is further, or each end-use segment is further divided into 5 applications, which are laundry care, dish care, floor care, hard surface cleaners, and deodorizers and disinfectants. And each of these applications then are further split into sub-applications. We'll see that on the next slide. So for each ingredient, you will get market size at an overall level. You will get market size by these two end-use segments. For each of these end-use segments, you will get market size by these applications. And then for each application, is further divided into sub-segments. And then for each sub-segment, you get the data by supplier. This slide shows the sub-segments under each application that we have. So in total, we cover about 21 sub-applications or segments across 5 main applications. This slide talks about the ingredient groups and the ingredient categories that we cover. So you can see in terms of ingredient groups, We basically cover all the key functions within a cleaning product formulation. So we have antimicrobials, which are used to provide to do the preservative function as well as act as disinfectants. Then we have bleach, we have enzymes, functional polymers, surfactants, which are the main ingredients for any cleaning formulation or which acts as a base for a cleaning formulation. So we cover different ingredient groups in our study. Now, having looked at the scope and methodology of our study, let us come to the main part of the presentation and look at the key findings of our study. Since our study is related to cleaning product ingredients, cleaning products industry influence the usage of these ingredients to a great extent. So let me start with a quick overview of the cleaning products industry before focusing on ingredients. The cleaning products industry, as you can see, has four key factors. First, it can weather recession better than other industries, as people will continue to buy these products, and probably everyone saw that in 2020 when other sectors in the economy were down, but probably cleaning products industry was one standout industry. Though we are talking about 2020, but 2020 has led to major changes in the drivers of this industry as well. Historically, if you see, this industry had a steady growth rate dependent upon population and economic growth. However, due to COVID-19, everyone's attention, including governments, has been on health and hygiene. This became the key factor driving the cleaning industry in 2020. As a result, new trends emerged in the cleaning products industry, as we'll see on the next slide. The key change that happened because of COVID-19 is that our home became everything. It became our office, it became classroom or playground for kids, and we also found ways to entertain ourselves at our home. So basically, everyone had to spend or are still spending most of their time at home. These led to new developments or new trends. The key three trends in the cleaning product industry are mentioned on this slide. Firstly is the hygienic cleaning. So consumers are looking for cleaning products that can protect them from bacteria, viruses, or various other pathogens. Efficient cleaning. No one likes to clean frequently. This is especially true for high-touch areas at home. For example, doorknobs or switches, which we use to switch on our lights, fans, or various other electrical equipments. People do not want to clean them before or after every touch. Basically, if you ask me, consumers are looking for cleaning solutions that are efficient and that can also provide long-term protection from bacteria or viruses. Third was the development of new product concepts. These trends led to the introduction of new products into the market. First is my personal favorite, vegetable and fruit cleaners, to clean fruits and vegetables bought from grocery stores. Product examples that you see on this slide were introduced in India in 2020. The other two product examples that you see on the screen meet the criteria for hygienic and efficient cleaning. For example, Microban 24, I think, which was introduced in the US in late 2019 or early 2020, this product was approved by the US Environmental Protection Agency to be effective against killing COVID-19 virus, and it also provides long-term protection, due to which this product became a hit last year. Pine Sol is also approved by the US EPA to be effective against COVID-19 virus, and which also led to huge sales for this particular product last year. So that was about the finished product trends. Let us talk about the ingredient market. Overall market for cleaning ingredients in 2020 is about USD $27 billion. Country market, as you see on this slide, can be divided into two categories. First category is the two mature markets in Europe and the US. These are mature or developed markets where growth is expected to be slower compared to other markets. Second category is what we call the growth market. However, growth markets can be further divided into two subcategories. First is the potential markets of India and Southeast Asia. You will see many of the high-end cleaning products such as liquid detergents or automatic dishwasher detergents, which are common in the developed markets, have small or no market in these countries or regions. For example, you may not find automatic dishwasher detergents in India. Not to say that there is no market for these products in India, but if you go to a store, chances are probably 9 out of 10 stores you may not find any automatic dishwasher detergent in India. As a result, these are potential markets and do provide huge growth opportunities in the long term. China is a market which is somewhere between growth and potential. What I mean by that is it is similar to developed markets in some aspects, but is also similar to potential markets in other aspects. For example, liquid laundry detergents are the main laundry detergent type in China. This is similar to the US and European markets. However, at the same time, there is a very small market for automatic dishwasher detergents in China. Whereas automatic dishwasher detergents account for close to 50% of the dish care market in the developed markets. As a result, we can see that China is not exactly a potential market or a mature market, suggesting that there is still growth potential left in China before it can become a mature market. In terms of end use, household accounts for almost 80% of the total cleaning ingredients market globally. This share further skewed in favor of the household segment in 2020 as the key segments of the industrial and institutional end use such as schools, universities, offices, restaurants, hotels were closed to control the spread of COVID-19. The chart on the right shows that COVID-19 led to decline in the industrial and institutional segment in most of the markets, while the household segment grew almost everywhere. The growth in the household segment is driven by consumers' need for more cleaning. Further, people stocked up on cleaning products at times for months to ensure that they do not have to go out frequently to buy these products. This led to growth in the demand from the household segment. In the I&I segment or the industrial and institutional segment, the decline was due to temporary closures of various segments such as schools, universities, offices, restaurants, and various other commercial establishments. However, the decline varied from one market to another. For example, Europe showed the highest decline in the industrial and institutional segment. This is not surprising as Europe is one of the most affected regions due to COVID-19, especially if you look at the leading economies in the region such as Germany, France, UK, Italy, Spain, which were probably the most affected countries due to COVID-19 in Europe. As a result, this led to sharp decline in the cleaning ingredient demand from the industrial and institutional segment in 2020. For Southeast Asia was also badly affected due to COVID-19, though the number of cases may not be that high, but the industrial and institutional segment suffered greatly. For example, Singapore was badly impacted as business travel declined significantly. Thailand, which as tourism as one of its main sectors or one of its main industries remained closed for most of 2020, leading to decline in the demand from industrial and institutional segment. Vietnam was closed for outside world for most of 2020. As a result, Southeast Asia suffered greatly when it comes to industrial and institutional segment. However, if we look at other markets like US, for example, it was less affected in comparison to Europe and Southeast Asia. This is because in the US, there was never any countrywide lockdown as it was implemented in other countries. Thus, the industrial and institutional segment was less affected. China, on the other hand, was also relatively better off compared to most other regions. India is the only market which is showing growth in both the household and the industrial and institutional segments in 2020. India also implemented lockdown, but it was for around 1.5 months. However, things quickly recovered back to normal by June, July, with restaurants, hotels running almost full. Also, new cleaning standard operating procedures were put in place due to COVID-19 restrictions that led to increased demand from the industrial and institutional segment. This slide talks about the consumption of different ingredient groups by value. In terms of ingredient categories, surfactants dominate the market, accounting for almost 2/3 of the total market value. Alcohol ethoxylates, alkyl benzene sulfonates, alkyl ether sulfates, and COTS are the largest surfactant types sold in the market. Surfactants are followed by fragrances and enzymes. Fragrances and enzymes are among the most expensive ingredients used in this industry and therefore have a higher share in value compared to rheology control agents or bleach that are consumed in higher volumes. This slide talks about consumption by different applications. Laundry care is the key cleaning application, accounting for more than 50% share in total ingredients value. This is followed by hard surface cleaners and dish care applications. However, if the market is compared to 2019, laundry care has declined by around 15 to 20% in 2020. This is because commercial laundries were closed. Even hotels, restaurants were closed, so there was not any laundry requirement from these establishments. Compared to that, hard surface cleaners, dish care requirements, they did not suffer that much. This slide shows the level of details that you can find in our database. For every ingredient, you can find its consumption for each application for each of the end users. Further, each application is divided into different sub-segments as I discussed earlier. So for example, for laundry care, we have liquid laundry detergents, powder laundry detergents, pre-wash stain removers, and other segments. You can find, for example, we are talking about alcohol ethoxylates here. So you can find alcohol ethoxylates demand for each of these subsegments under laundry care for both end users, household, and I&I. So that was about the consumption side of the industry. This slide shows the supply side of the market. As you can see, ingredients can reach formulators either directly or through distributors. In case of large formulators, there is direct supply happening. However, for smaller formulators, ingredients are supplied through distributors. Further, finished products can reach end users either directly through formulators or distributors or through retail stores. And this is applicable for both the household or the industrial and institutional segments. Household segment or consumers buying directly from formulators, domestic consumers buying directly from formulators may seem odd, but one can buy from formulators' websites now. So that we can consider as direct selling. This particular factor, domestic consumers buying directly from formulators websites or maybe through Amazon or various other websites or e-commerce websites, this increased a lot in 2020 as retail stores went empty for cleaning products, due to which more consumers had to buy cleaning products online. This particular factor could lead to another change in the industry. For example, as retail stores got empty, consumers bought cleaning products online from smaller formulators. So there was case that people were probably not finding more popular products even online, and therefore they had to buy some other cleaning product, which may not be that popular, but since nothing is available, they went for that particular product. As a result, sales from smaller formulators or not so popular cleaning products also grew in 2020. But now, when come 2021 or 2022, when things will get back to normal, one can expect that some of these consumers may not go back to their original choice of cleaning products, and thus you will have some market share shifting from bigger formulators to smaller formulators. So you may eventually see that smaller formulators, including private label brands, may gain in this market, which provides an opportunity to ingredient suppliers to gain market share or to increase their sales to smaller formulators. This slide shows the supply.
Sorry to interrupt you. This is actually a really interesting thing because I live in the Czech Republic. I've never ever heard about smaller companies. I usually go to the store and purchase my cleaning products right there. But this year, particularly, if they're smaller formula, I can't remember what kind, if it's like a Czech brand or whatever, private label, they really popped up and they started selling directly to consumers and becoming more and more popular. And it looks like a lot of people are not going back to bigger ones because they're getting used as this personal approach and new type of products as well. So that's an interesting thought that I just made me realize this is really happening even here in the Czech Republic. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Vera. Thanks for sharing your personal experience that you have seen. So I'm sure most of the attendees would also have similar stories to share. Now, this slide talks about the supplier share in the market. If we look at the supplier side of the market, we'll find that the market is rather fragmented. You can essentially see three types of suppliers in this industry. First category is of multinational suppliers like BASF and Dow, who are present in several ingredient groups, which are found within a cleaning product formulation. Second category are suppliers like Novozymes or Firmenich, who have significant presence in one specific ingredient group. So Novozymes for enzymes, Firmenich for fragrances, for example. And third category is of regional suppliers like Fogla Group, who are mainly present in their home countries or have a very huge dominating presence in their home countries and maybe some countries around their home countries, but may not be a very big global supplier. This slide is another example of the data that you can get in our database. You can get sales for each ingredient by supplier in our database. Please note that this is just an example, and our database has much more information to share than shown here. So that was about the cleaning ingredients supply overview. Let me now move to the last part of my presentation, that is the outlook for the cleaning ingredients market. But before that, I think Vera wants to have a poll.
Yes, well, we just were curious about what your thoughts are about how do you see the cleaning ingredients market for the industrial and institutional segment to evolve in the future. I'm going to launch the poll right now so you can read through it and give you like a few seconds to give your ideas on your thoughts on what the recovery will be like. Interesting. Kunal, you can see the results, right?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm going to stop the poll right now. At this moment, right now, most of you, but majority of you think the full recovery will be happening by 2022. This is very interesting, Kunal, right? You can continue on the outlook for the market.
Right. Sure. So almost 2/3 of the respondents or the attendees are saying full recovery by 2022. Very small share of attendees are saying full recovery during 2021, and then there are some responses which are saying no expected time frame or recovery may be longer than 2022. So thanks for participating in that poll. Let me continue with the outlook. So this slide shows the key drivers and inhibitors for the cleaning ingredients market going forward. Key driver is expected to be COVID-19, due to which new standard operating procedures for cleaning have been developed. This is expected to drive the market in the near future. Further, as economies open up, the demand from the industrial and institutional segment should increase, driving the market further. The other key factors for driving this market are increasing urbanization in developing market. So, for example, in India, if you come to India or visit any city, I'm sure you'll find huge construction going on wherever you go, roads or various other housing projects going on. So, huge construction going on. Next key trend is the shift towards liquid cleaning products as well as unit dose and concentrated products. This is another key trend that we see that will drive this industry in the future. However, this particular trend slowed down in 2020 as consumers shifted to lower priced cleaning products. Further, consumers believed that powder detergents have higher cleaning capability than liquid detergents, due to which there was an increase in the demand for powder detergents. However, this is a temporary trend. This is a temporary trend, and the long-term trend of shift towards liquid cleaning products is intact and should continue going forward. Lastly, growing population and increasing sustainability needs are expected to drive the market. In terms of inhibitors, high prices of ingredients such as fragrances and enzymes inhibit their growth. More so in COVID-19 times when consumers are looking to save more. Shift from powder to liquid cleaning products are expected to adversely impact the demand for ingredients such as TAD and CMC. Further, environmental pressure and concerns of human health could lead to increased pressure on some ingredients. Antimicrobials that were facing pressure before COVID-19 times, however, due to their key role in eliminating COVID-19 virus, this process has slowed down and may slow down further in the future. But this could be a temporary phenomena till the time people get vaccinated. Once the vaccination is complete, it is not clear if the antimicrobials will be subjected to more regulations, as was the case earlier, or regulators will go a bit easy with antimicrobials. This thing will only become clear in the future. This slide shows the growth outlook for different regions As you can see, mature markets of the US and Europe are expected to grow slowly than average market growth. Europe remain a tricky region to predict as some countries continue to remain in lockdown. As a result, the situation remains uncertain and it is difficult to predict when it will come back to normal in Europe. For other regions, it is estimated that market will recover to pre-COVID-19 levels by 2022 or 2023. In Asia, the recovery could be faster depending upon how fast COVID-19 vaccinations happen and how the caseload for COVID-19 declines. In terms of end-use segments, demand from the industrial and institutional segment is expected to be stronger than the household segment as the schools, universities, hotels, commercial laundries, restaurants, they reopen. This will have positive impact on the demand for all types of ingredients, but is likely to be particularly beneficial for surfactants as commercial laundries open. While COVID-19 is expected to have a strong impact on the market in the short term, the long-term impact will persist only if some habits become permanent. Among the possible long-term changes, for example, is a greater focus on health and hygiene, which will drive demand for certain ingredients. Though for the I&I segment or the industrial and institutional segment, a shift towards working from home or a shift towards less business travel as companies around the world realize the benefits of these changes could have an adverse impact on the growth in the demand for cleaning ingredients from the industrial and institutional segment. This slide talks about the growth for different ingredient groups. Enzymes and fragrances are expected to be the fastest growing ingredients. This is partly driven by their relatively low usage in developing markets, and the market for them can only go up in the developing markets. Further, demand for enzymes is driven by their environmental friendliness. For example, their sustainable profile and their good performance at low wash temperature that saves energy is expected to be a driving factor for the growth in enzymes demand. With this, we come to the end of our presentation. Before concluding, I would like to give you again key information for the study that we just published. The reports and database for this study are now available. You can contact any of the people listed on this slide if you would like to get more information about the study itself or subscribing options. Hope you enjoyed today's presentation. We are open for questions now.
There is actually interesting that we asked our audience about the future of the cleaning market. There's one question for you, Kunal. How do you see the cleaning market in the nearest future? Do you have any insights on that?
In the near future, I mean, I would expect, as I said earlier, industrial and institutional segment should grow and grow faster than the household segment. Precisely because in 2020, many of the industrial and institutional establishments like schools, universities, hotels, restaurants were closed, still remain closed in some countries, in some markets. So there is no cleaning demand basically for them. But as they open up, eventually cleaning will happen at those places. Plus, new standard operating procedures will be in place to ensure no one catches COVID-19. So demand will be much faster in the industrial and institutional segment than the household segment. That is how I see it in the near future. Or at an overall level, in the near future, market should only go up because the threat from COVID-19 is still there, and then some regions, I mean Europe, US, they are still facing a lot of issues because of COVID-19. So it can only go up right now in the near future.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you. Actually, one personal question for me, since you talked about this new product about I think it was vegetable cleaning at the beginning, right? Have you used it yourself?
Yes.
Yes.
I've used one of the products. Listed there. So
it's an interesting product.
Shown on the side. So, yeah.
Never seen it here in Europe. Maybe space to bring it in over here. Anyway, it looks like we have no more questions. I just wanted to thank everyone for coming. Warn you, we'll give you a heads up about that we will be having another webinar covering just the surfactants business. It'll be going across various markets from cleaning to personal care. If somebody from the audience is into surfactants, please watch out, or you can reply to the webinar at clientgroup.com email and ask about it. I'll send you a link whenever we are ready and have the link ready for you to register. We also had the webinar that was covering just I&I market and the opportunities on this market last week. In case you missed it and you still would like to see the recording, then you can again connect with us via that email. It's the easiest way, or via any of those contacts that you see in front of you if you were able to take the notes down of contact information. These are all your account managers or practice managers, and of course Kunal's contact information right in front of you. So thank you, Kunal. It was wonderful. Really great presentation. And I hope to we'll see many more of these in the future. And I apologize for Kunal not showing himself today because we had some technical difficulties in the beginning. And in fact, he even had to call through the phone, not to use computer audio. So next time it will be both live. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Kunal, and I'm ending this now.
Thank you. Thank you.